This is a school leadership project by Tamara Knox. This is a school leadership project focusing on Corley Elementary, which is located in Gwinnett County, Georgia, with approximately 1,399 K-5 general ed and special education students. Corley Elementary is 85% apartment-based and 92% free and reduced lunch, with an ESOL population of 52% and a special education population of 11%. Our population is comprised of 3% Asian students, 31% African American students, 61% Hispanic, 2% multiracial, and 3% white. This project focuses on the research question, how can the use of the iReady computer program increase student achievement as measured by the Gwinnett County District Assessment? The iReady computer program is designed to target skills needed in order to increase student achievement. iReady is a computer program which assesses students in a diagnostic program in reading and math and then places them in targeted program based on their needs. If the student is below grade level, it offers based on their needs. If the student is below grade level, it offers remediation and moves them along the program. On grade level, students receive instruction based on what is expected of students in that grade level. The program also offers lessons for the teacher to implement in the classroom in order to assist targeting the essential skills. Advanced students can gain instruction which enriches them and propels their learning to the advanced status. Students in Gwinnett County take the Gwinnett County District Assessment. This is the results of the English Language and Arts reading on the district assessment. We take that at the end of every 9-week period. So we took it at the first 9 weeks, the mid-year, and the end of the third 9 weeks. We are currently performing below the Berkmar cluster average and the Gwinnett County average. This is the math assessment. We actually took a pre-test for this, and we are performing, as the graph shows below, in both the Berkmar cluster and the Gwinnett County cluster. PLCs were led by Mrs. Knox in order to determine the Gwinnett County District Assessment at the end of each 9 weeks. Ms. Knox worked in conjunction with the LSTC for Corley Elementary in order to assist teachers in learning about the diagnostic portion of the iReady program. In September, after the initial diagnostic reports were gathered, Mrs. Knox led a PLC on setting the developmental levels for students and building instructional groups in the classroom. Ms. Knox worked with the SST coordinator to set goals for students and schedule meetings for students who need remediation and who were involved in the RTI process. The participation in the program has been on schedule. However, I didn't account for the lack of teacher responsibility. Some of the teachers are not paying enough attention to what students are doing in the program. This has caused some delays in student progress because the students are clicking on answers and not fully utilizing the program as it was intended. I have had to work with teachers in order to help them determine if students are rushing or clicking through the program. This has caused some students to have to start the diagnostic program over again, thereby causing a delay in gains and effectiveness of the program. The tutoring program is showing progress toward acceptable progress in the district assessments. Data protocols have been implemented in order to examine the data. Collaborative planning sessions are scheduled after each of the county assessments. Teachers have had half-day planning led by the researcher in order to determine if students are making gains, what areas needed to be targeted in order to help the students meet the standards. Teachers and administrators examine how the students are performing on the iReady program to determine if they have mastered the targeted skills on the program and if they have met on the county assessments. If there are discrepancies, the team looks at the wording of the questions and how the material is presented on the iReady program. These SMART goals have been analyzed during the professional learning sessions and compiled to determine if students are showing growth on the district assessment measured against the Berkmar cluster and Gwinnett County. Students utilized the computer program in the classroom during a readers and writers workshop and math. At-risk students were invited to attend extended learning sessions. Students were invited to attend boot camp before the Georgia Milestones for 3 days in order to remediate the needed skills. This action research project is relevant to state, district, and school because it seeks to determine the level students need to acquire in order to score at the proficient and/or distinguished range on the Georgia Milestones. This information will be utilized by teachers for the current year and in order to set levels for students during the 16-17 school year. This is the feedback from my sponsor. Some of the students are showing gains on the district assessment and the iReady program. However, for the most part, there have been substantial gains in there have not been substantial gains in either area. The diagnostic portions of the program only can be adjusted by the LSTC, making it necessary for the teacher and myself to go to her and ask her to adjust each student who scored low on the diagnostic portion. I have worked closely with the teachers and the LSTC in examining the data for each student and adjusting their levels accordingly. This program would be more effective if the teacher had the ability to adjust students' levels based on their performance in the classroom. I think that would make it more user-friendly and create buy-in by the teachers. I have experienced pushback because the process is so slow and teachers do not necessarily see the value in the program. I have led the PLC in examining the Gwinnett County District Assessment data for each 9-week cycle. The iReady data is examined once a month during their planning time. I have met with the LSTC on individual students on a weekly basis after I've had the computer lab with classes in order to determine where they are performing. During SST meetings, the SST coordinator and I have examined data on the student process of the RTI process. This data is useful in determining if students are successful on the strands that they should be able to do. During the PLC time, teachers examine the data to determine if the standards missed most often and what needed to be done during instructional time in order to address the misconceptions. Several veteran teachers were resistant to change because that's the way things had always been done. The teachers who were newer to the profession seemed to be more on board. However, I needed to work closely with them because they were being influenced by others. I had to work to encourage them to use their skills to promote learning in their classroom. That's the end of this process. Thank you very much.